Are you sharing something that's meaningful and significant to you? Are you putting your energy into it, enough of your energy into it that it's going to resonate with other people who read it? I don't know if those are things you can teach. You have to feel it. I like to say that poets ask the questions, scientists answer them. Well, you got to want to ask the questions. And you have to want to ask the questions that, for the most part, we're all asking. But how can you ask it in a way where we say, oh, wow, yes, that's what I've been trying to say, or that's what I feel? And that comes from, I think it began in my house, being sort of developing a love of words, even when I didn't want to recognize that I was in love with words. Well, you look around. I mean, you see all the books in my house. Many of these books I borrowed from my dad, all of his books. And reading all of these books, not just the poems, but the fiction, the biographies, the how-to, the inspirational, the nonfiction, the history books. All those books sort of inform my writing and my life. And so I realized very early on that I needed to have sort of a world of experiences so to be able to write about something that was of significance. And I needed to be able to look at the world and travel and be able to write about things that were outside of just my head, but were sort of coming from the way that my heart and my soul views the world. But I had to first understand the world, and that came from reading. When my brother and I are on the court together, this team is unstoppable, unfadable, and yes, undefeated. JB brings the ball up the court, passes the ball to Vanya. He shoots it back to JB. I call for the ball. JB finds me in the corner. I know y'all think it's time for the pick and roll, but I got something else in mind. I get the ball on my left side. JB is setting the pick. Here it comes. I roll to his right. The double team is on me, leaving JB free. He's got his hands in the air, looking for the dish from me. Dad likes to say, when Jordan Bell is open, you can take his three to the bank, cash it in, because it's all money. I'm a big fan of telling stories. I spend a lot of time in Ghana, West Africa, and one of the cultural traditions in Ghana in particular, and other parts of West Africa, is this idea of by the fireside. And every night after dinner, children would gather with the elders and hear stories that were based in fact, stories that are passed down generation by generation. But that's sort of that nonfiction, sharing of stories that have been passed down. And I think those are the kind of things that make us, the creative spirits that we are, and make us have these sort of exciting ideas about what's possible in this world for ourselves and for each other. My wings are gone. The shot clock is at 5. I dribble out of the double team. My wings are gone. 4. Everything comes to a head. 3. I see Jordan. 2. You want it? You want the ball? Here you go. 1. You'll have to read the book to find out. Learning how to write poems from inside rather than poems from outside. How to write poems that behave. Learning all of that really helped sort of cement my writing aspirations and my dreams, and making me decide I'm going to pursue this. But it was tough. It was challenging. I just enjoy words. I enjoy, when you can, make children, make adults have an emotional response to something through words. Writers who can do that, it's very inspiring for me.